Hello and welcome to Art Rocks with Miss Erin. I have put this off for about a year because of my tender ego, as egos are quite tender, but I just need to get over it and go ahead and do it. So this is going to be, cats are going to jump in and out by the way, an art channel mainly focusing on creativity in general. I'm doing this partly because last year at one of the schools I worked at, I promised, without a doubt, 100% swore to them that I would have an art YouTube channel put up by summertime, last summer. I lied, and I've been feeling bad about that for a while. I don't know where to look. I'm looking off into the void, so this is the first episode, also the troubleshooting episode, if I'm using that word correctly, which I believe means working out the kinks technologically and otherwise. So I promised some children I would. I've been wanting to do it anyway, just kind of because I feel like I've got some ideas I would like to share. I teach elementary school art and working on my master's in fine arts education currently at the University of Utah. And there are also homework packets being sent home today, March 29th, or no, 30th, 2020, during this COVID-19 quarantine. And in the homework packets, I, gave out a coloring sheet and also said, follow me on my YouTube channel, and gave them this YouTube channel, which in turn duped me into being where I absolutely finally need to do it. So that's how I have to trick myself to get things done. Again, this is just the first episode, so it's sort of troubleshooting. My plan is to do some step-by-step drawings, some just talking about creativity, some process-based art versus product-based, which I'll talk about another time. A whole array. It's going to be very miscellaneous. My name was going to be Miss Elania because I'm a very miscellaneous person. My hairstylist would just feel so proud of what's happening with my hair. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and be done with this intro bit. And the first one for today is just going to be how to draw Sonic the Hedgehog, because I teach about 1,950 students a week when I was teaching, which if there are any of you that are checking this out, I miss you terribly. I love you guys and I miss you so much, and I hope you're doing well. But I'm going to throw in some of the ones that I either promised kids and didn't draw them what I told them I would draw them, or ones that I know kids request a lot, like Naruto, or, you know, actually we're going to start with Naruto. I lied. And I'm rambling, so I'm going to go ahead and stop now. Thank you for watching. I might not even watch this again, just post it, or else I'm going to psych myself out. Bye. All right, troubleshooting indeed. I'm going to just pretend that my phone isn't bungee corded in a really strange, bizarre way to my desk, and that I didn't already break a light bulb trying to get the correct lighting. I hope my phone stays there. So, first episode. Here, I want to show you how to draw Naruto, but also how to draw from pictures, or from another image. So, here's the picture of Naruto. I want to make it look the same over here. Pardon the dogs barking. I do live in a duplex with my brother, and he's got dogs. Alright, so we're going to start with just basic shape breakdown. We're going to start with this head. This is just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, number 2 pencil, and then I've got my pink pearl eraser, and those are my most favorite drawing tools. So that's just what I'm going to use. You go ahead and use whatever you'd like. Alright, so let's go ahead and do lightly drawn oval. It's a portrait, so near the middle of the paper. That's just his head shape, and if you do a lightly drawn line just above it, that's about how long his hair is. How tall, rather. So you can use your pencil as a measuring tool. I'm leaving my, the very tip of the lead right here, and I'm going to pinch right where his bandana starts, which is that line. And then I'm just going to go over here. So that's where that's how tall his hair is. And I'm going to do the same way of measuring here that this length, if I mimic that and do that right here, that's where his eyebrows meet. So I'm just doing some measuring. Again, I'm not going to always do step-by-step drawing instructional videos, but these tools are handy to know. So measuring with the pencil, getting proportions right. With drawing realistically, much of it is math and angles and measuring. So, but again, that is not the only way to create art by any means whatsoever. Anywho, there's the height of the hair, the height of the hair. What have I done? Let's see. Yeah, height of the hair. Then the middle of, so right about here is where the bandana is, just a little bit above. So if you do a swoopy kind of a frowny face line, like a rainbow line here, and that middle mark, that's where his bandana is. I hope you were able to see that. In the middle of his bandana is this, I've never seen Naruto. I know it's terrible, but I know that the students I work with love him, so that's why we're drawing him. So right here is that metal plate where his symbol is, and we can draw the little cool spiral bird symbol later. And then these don't have to be already drawn, but right here, if I just do a midline of his face, and normally eyes would be directly in the middle, but the top of his head is about right here anyway. But looking at this is what we're going off of. That's where the eyebrows were. His little furrowed brow, they're just two little notches going outward at an outward angle. And then you can use your pencil to measure angles as well. So if these are right next to each other, if I measure this angle and lift it up and place it down, that's the angle that goes up for that eyebrow. And then it's symmetrical, but it's the same angle going the opposite way on the other side. So there are his eyebrows. His basic face shape, let's see, first actually his ears. So directly under, this is going to be a point of reference, this little part where the headband meets the ear. That's one of my points of reference. I'm just going to do this basic outline shape of his ear. So it's a curved line up, out, and then back in. And then if you go straight across using your pencil, boop, it's down a teeny bit, but right about here, you just do a similar shape. And if you want to make them even, you can lay your pencil down and make them line up with being parallel with the top and the bottom of the paper. So we're just going to do these lines. And obviously, since you're watching from your own device, pause at any time you want to, and then unpause it, because that's what you can do, because that's your phone or your computer. All right, his ear is a little bit too large, because if I'm really trying to make it exact, this is sort of a small arc with a almost perpendicular line, but it's slanted a teeny bit out, and then it angles in and goes up. So, and if we want to still do the measuring thing, the length of his ear is almost exactly as tall as his bandana. So I made it a little bit too long. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now they're closer to the same length there. All right, so trying to see if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can see it well enough. I'll get a better lighting system and clamping system, because this is just straight up silly. But hopefully it'll work. So, his eyes, since I already have the eyebrows, and I feel pretty confident about where they are, his right eye, the little cat eye part, that angle, is almost to his ear, but not quite. So I'm just going to put sort of this greater than symbol right here on the right hand side for his right eye. Then you can use your pencil or just eyeball on the other side. It's about the same distance and it's the same shape, except this one is flipped. mirror image flip. So this is a less than symbol. And the eye line starts, so here's that midline very lightly drawn. It's in, let's see here. So the edge of his ear to the edge of his eye, if I measure that with my pencil and go in, boop, I can just put a teeny little notch, which is where I had it. This length is the same as this length, and then I do that same length right here. That's where that eye is, and then that eye should be right about here. So I had that off a little bit. Whoops. Okay. And you know, this is the first YouTube video I've done, so I may figure out some easier ways to do this. Maybe I'm making it more complicated than it should be, but with doing step-by-step drawings, I'd like to help you learn how to do the steps on your own just by looking at an image. And in doing so, there's a lot of different things to look at. There's negative shapes, for instance. So if I were this little shape right here in between these two parts of his bandana, that's the negative shape. His bandana is the positive shape. So the more you draw, the more you get used to looking at a whole bunch of things at once. You're looking